All right, everyone. Today we have a very special guest. We're here with Chris Paul Jr., brand new Rams linebacker. How we doing today?
And I'm doing great, fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing wonderful. Let's just start here. How many Pooh Bear jokes do you hear in the week? And have you ever thought about turning it into merch?
So I know a lot of people. Some people call me. They usually use my nickname to come up with. They'll call me like Pooh Bear, or they'll call me Winnie the Pooh. So I had like a Pooh chain that I got. It's like a custom made chain, and it has like the Pooh emblem, but then it has him eating the honey. So then people try to come up and be like, "Oh, you're Winnie the Pooh." You like just jokes like that, but
I mean, does
more.
that come from the fact that like your name is the name of one of the like most prominent basketball players of all time?
Now I get a lot of jokes about that too. A lot of people, so it's crazy. So some people think that Chris Paul is my dad. Some people have asked if he was a cousin, a uncle. I'm like, bro, y'all would know if Chris Paul was my dad. Like like y'all
That's
would know
something
if
you
he was
would
my
just talk. That's something you would talk about.
exactly. So, but and then they were like, bro, like when the Rams had posted that they had drafted me, people was in the comments like, I didn't know Chris Paul had a son that played football. I didn't know that he was in college. Why doesn't
Yeah.
he play basketball? I'm like, no, that's y'all. It's two different. These two different people.
Yeah. Is that what kind of just makes you go by your nickname like more often just because of that?
Yes, and on top, like, so my nickname actually grew on me once I was younger, and everybody in my community started calling me Pooh. Then my college coaches, like when I would go on recruiting visits, they would call me Pooh. So it kind of just grew on me as I got older, and uh, that's how
Yeah.
people know me now. So that's how they call me.
Yeah. So starting off with college, transferred to Ole Miss, immediately became a leader on that defense. How do you, as a linebacker, earn trust in that locker room?
Just getting around my guys and really just building bonds with them. Somebody who's like really big on building bonds with my teammates because I feel as if that's the way that we can push each other. I feel like that's the way that we could go out and coach each other up on things, and because we know how different things we can respond to them. Different people respond to things differently, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
just getting to know those guys and getting to know what ways they learn the best, whether that's getting on boards or whether that's going through walkthroughs or if they just have to go out there and practice and have to actually be in the heat of the moment. I've run into some guys like that as well. So, but just learning about them off the field and knowing their backstory, they learn about me and my backstory. I've just one that helps us push each other, but two that helps us get closer. That helps bring better like a greater community in the locker room with each other. There's a lot of trust in that, but as well
Yeah.
as a lot of guys who wants to see the others, become successful later, whether now or later on in life.
Yeah. And then are you going to try to use those same kind of strategies to, try to gain trust in this new locker room now? Because you're in an entirely new locker room.
Definitely, definitely. And with me coming in, being one of the young guys now, being a rookie, it's gonna be very imperative for me to get around those good veteran guys. Just get around those guys who do things the right way, who take very precautions in everything that they do and want to excel at everything that they do. That way, I could become one of the leaders of that franchise. And that way, once I'm older and rookies start coming in after me, I can be able to coach them up. I can be a resource or an outlet to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then 2024 was like a historic year for the Rebels defense. A lot of guys got drafted on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
Is there anything in particular you thought that like really helped you guys click?
One, like I said, like the bonds that we had with each other. Cause on my defense, I had a lot of guys that came in with me that transferred in with me. So I had guys like Walter Nolan that came in, Jared Ivey, JJ Pagis was already there, but Jared Ivey was already there. But um, Prince Lou Mamielin, I had Trey Amos, myself, and it was a lot of other big name guys on that defense. So with a high caliber defense like that, I felt as if we created a bond with each other and we go out and we push each other throughout this offseason, we can all help each other succeed in great ways, offensively and defensively. And
Yeah,
so just and on top of having a high power offense in Jackson Dart, Trey Amos, Caden Prieskorn, having those weapons in on my offense, that it really helped us out a lot because we could to sum it up basically for you, it was easy for us to, switch momentum when needed. it was easy for us to gain momentum with a defensive stop and then following it up with a high powered offense. So,
Yeah.
that was really good. But, just getting around those guys, man, and, doing the extra each and every day, getting 1% each and every day on and off the field with each other, whether that's coaching each other up on film study or whether that's getting with each other and having a get real mean with each other. Like that's not the standard. That's not how we do things, and we go out and we correct it the next day. So I feel like that's how we were able to have as much success as we did.
Yeah. And then I always think this when I see a bunch of like people on defense get drafted. Is there a little bit of any like friendly trash talk or like in the group chat just like, I think I'm gonna get drafted first. No, I'm gonna get drafted first. Like, is there any of that this year?
Definitely, definitely. But it only and we was doing that throughout the season, just making friendly jokes about each other, like who gonna have the
Yeah.
most tackles, who gonna have the most sacks. That's one thing that was big against the D line. They always counted up who would have the most sacks, like who at the end when PFF or whatever site posted this many sack leaders in the SEC, whose name would be up there, just things like that. But we just use those things. It's friendly competition between each other, but we just use those to fuel the fire. That way, we can go out on Saturday and have fun. We put all the work in throughout the week with great preparation with each other. So Saturday's supposed to be fun. So we go out here, man, and we just play. We just do what we love. We play football and we have fun with each other.
Yeah. And then time comes, you finally get drafted by the Rams and they trade up to get walk us through like some of the feelings you were feeling. Was it last week? However long ago it was.
Man, so and it's still to this day, man, it still don't feel real. But all I can remember is like a lot of emotions hit me at one time. Like there was happiness that came, gratefulness, but I was very blessed to be around my family when I got that phone call. I was able to share that moment with family back home, and everybody that had come out that supported me through my career since I was a younger kid. They were out there. They showed support towards me, and man, I got on the phone call and I told my parents that I wasn't gonna cry. I didn't cry on camera. So technically I won, but man, it was just a blessed feeling. And it was just basically to sum it up for you, make it easier for you. It was just a surreal moment. It felt like an out of body experience. Like man, I really, I did this. This is something that I dreamed about since I was younger. Like even me and my mom, we had a talk yesterday, and she was telling me how she was proud of me. Like ever since I was a kid, I set a goal for myself, and I went and achieved that. Now it's only right that I go out here. I continue to give my 100% efforts. I continue to get closer with God first and foremost, but also I feel like I gotta take it up a notch. I'm in the league with the best of the best now. Everybody's good. So now it's time for me to take that extra leap, to get even better, become an even more high caliber player.
Yeah. And then, did you have any sort of feeling that LA was going to be the place that drafted you at all?
Man, I was sitting back and I really didn't know who would give me a call. I was just blessed and fortunate enough to receive that phone call, and lucky enough, it was the Los Angeles Rams, which make it even better because I love LA. So but man, just looking at the coaching staff and the players that they have over there, I can really tell that I'm going to be surrounded by a great group of guys. I'm going to be surrounded by a great coaching staff, but as well as I feel like it's gonna be a lot of competition out there, and it's gonna be fun each and every day going to work. I'm gonna be ready. I'm excited. I'm pumped to get out there right now. So, and I just can't wait to get out there, man. I'm ready to get to it.
Yeah. Speaking of the landing spot, the Rams are just known for hitting on the later round picks. Does that give you any positivity about the upcoming season?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, 100%. And no matter where I went, I just wanted the opportunity. That's the main thing. Guys that's going through this, we just all want an opportunity. At the end of the day, whether you went drafted or undrafted, you still have that same opportunity out in front of you. So, man, I know I'm gonna go in and give my 100% each and every day, and I'm gonna take advantage. I'm gonna go out here. I'm going here and do everything in my power to take advantage of the opportunity because, like I told Coach, I want people to look later on down the line after my career and be like, man, yeah, Pooh Paul Jr., the linebacker for the Rams, was a great player, but off the field, he was a leader. He was in the community engaged, And first and foremost, man, he was out, and he was a man who walked by faith.
Absolutely. And then something I found out when I was doing background research, you were reuniting with Bo Limmer on the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Were you
Exactly.
guys communicating at all during the draft process, or like once you got drafted?
We were, and actually, he was down in Texas when I was getting ready for the combine. So when he was down, I was asking him about, how was it out there in LA. He said it's beautiful. Like you would love it. The people, like I said, the people that he's surrounded by in the locker room are great, fantastic people, coaching staff and players. The people out in the community that he's in is very respectful, very helpful towards each other. So and it's kind of crazy that that's where I end up,
Yeah.
but that's another thing that kind of hit me because we talked a little bit after I got the phone call. Man, we really excited. Like he was very excited for me to get out there. But um, then I remember when I was just a young freshman, I had just got to Arkansas, and Bo Limmer was one of the first people I met. And the reason I met him was I seen him lifting like crazy weight in the weight room, like crazy numbers. Like I think it's a video one like that Arkansas page posted one time that he squatted like 700 pounds with ease. And like I was like, I'm blown, like I'm a freshman at this time. I'm young, I'm just getting accustomed to this. I'm looking around, I'm like, bro, like okay, like this guy.
You're like, I don't want to be lining up against him in
Yeah,
practice.
like this guy is like he might actually be a freak. But um man, just watching how hard that he worked, and watching how he took younger guys up under his wing, showed them the ropes and showed them how the correct way to do things, it really showed me that okay, man, I could take a little bit of this from him and relay it to my game to help me become an even more complete player, man. So I'm excited to get back
Yeah.
around the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're entering a linebacker room, Troy Reader, Nate Landman, Omar Speights. Where do you see yourself kind of fitting in with the rest of those guys?
Man, I feel like it's gonna be a great outcome. I feel like because like I said, watching those guys, they look like competitors. They look like somebody who takes the game very seriously. Guys who put in the extra work and get 100% better each and every day. So getting around those guys is gonna be a great experience for me. Like I said, I want to get around veteran guys like that, to learn the ways of the franchise, but also learn how to put myself in greater position outside of the facility. You know, how
Yeah.
can I get into these mandated programs in order to get out into the community, show face in the community, get people to know me outside of football, so they'll understand what I stand for, not as a ball player, but as a human being. And hopefully that my story may touch somebody else out there and inspire them to keep getting better. But
Yeah.
and I feel like getting around those guys is gonna be a great experience for me. I couldn't ask for any better group of guys to be around my rookie season because I feel like but as well as guys like Jared Verse, getting around those guys, learning the ways of, how do I become an all pro player? How do I become a complete player in the NFL and stay a complete player in the NFL? So,
Yeah.
man, like I said, man, it's a numerous amount of guys out there that I'm excited to get around just because of their work ethic and how they carry themselves as men.
Yeah. I was at training camp last summer on the sideline, and dude, those dudes were chirping every single time they made any sort of play. So all I gotta say to you is just bring the energy, and obviously they brought the energy this year.
No doubt, no doubt.
And then Scott, I was checking out scouting reports on you. Said that you would thrive in a system that prioritizes speed and instincts in a linebacker. Is that something that you feel like LA does really well?
Yes, I do. And watching those guys play, that's something that I feel like I can bring towards the team. Just an addition to it because those guys out there, they already play. Like I said, they already play like high caliber players. That the game means something to them, and you can tell by their play on the field. So just seeing how hard those guys go, not only for themselves but for each other. You can see the guys out there. Even if you're just watching on TV, you can see these guys leading each other on the field, off the field. They coming to the sideline with coaching adjustments and talking things over, and that's why they had so much success. So that's why, and they always say the best teams are the player led teams, and you can tell that the LA Rams is a player led team because those guys take it they they take it very seriously to get better each and every day. That's something that they pride
Yeah,
themselves on, and that's just me on the outside looking in. for right now until I get there, which I already know what to expect when I walk in. I know, like I said earlier, when I walk in, I'm gonna be walking into a great group of guys. So,
Yeah.
man, like I said once again, man, I'm just super amped to get out there, man. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, you guys got rookie camp in a couple days, right?
Right, we do.
So then, in your opinion, what would you say is tougher to cover, a tight end or a receiving back?
I would say a receiving back. And the reasoning for that, I feel like they have more speed than a tight end, but I also feel as if they have a little bit more wiggle room. They're probably
Yeah.
like a more, how can I say it? They're a receiving back, somebody like an Albert Kamara, for example. Let's just use him for example. Somebody who's very shifty to him, has a little finesse to him, but and in the run game, he's very useful as well. He's a hard runner. He runs with purpose. And there's a lot of backs, like Saquon Barkley's of the world. John.
I'm pretty sure they drafted you so you would tackle Saquon. So
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. It's going any back there. I'm going to tackle. There's no problem. But yeah, I would say probably like a receiving back.
yeah, just more a little bit more versatile in the pass game.
Right. You can utilize them a little bit more in the passing game than you could a tight end, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then what's a play where film study gave you the edge that the average fan wouldn't have noticed?
So one play, it was I'm trying to think what team it was. I think we were playing. Yes, it was Georgia. We was playing Georgia, and you'll see we was on a goal line stand, and Cash Jones, number 32, was in the backfield, and we already knew once they get into these type of situations, and he's at running back. This is just from me watching film. He would basically run an option route off the linebacker. So if you were inside leverage too much, he would run an out route. If you were outside leveraging him, he would basically run up to you and run the angle route. It was only two routes that he ran when in the red zone. So what I did was I told the other linebacker that I was playing beside, which is TJ, to wind his alignment a little bit, basically get outside shoulder, so that way when Cash Jones comes out and he runs the angle route, we could vice tackle him. And that's exactly how it played out. We end up vice tackling him and getting off the field.
Yeah. And then what separates good linebackers from great ones in your opinion? And are there any linebackers that are currently playing the game that you've really tried to model your game after?
I feel as if the linebackers who are willing to take that extra step. Not afraid of hard criticism, not afraid to take criticism from their peers, but as well as give criticism to their peers. Somebody who carries themselves outside of the football facility, somebody who has a great face outside of the football facilities. But the main thing is somebody who takes care of their body. As a linebacker, you out there, you laying hits each and every day. So it's imperative that we do the right things outside of the football field, outside of the facility, that helps us get an edge. That's whether that's recovery, whether that's eating right, whether that's being in a good place spiritually, mentally, and physically. Just making sure you stay on top of the little things and making sure that you're priding yourself on getting better each and every day. Some linebackers that I would model my game after, somebody like a Dre Greenlaw or Fred Warner or like a Quay Walker or somebody like that. That somebody who's very versatile on the field as a every down linebacker. You can use them from first through fourth down. You can use them. Somebody who is a run stopper, but as well as you can put them out in coverage. They can cover that shifty back like we was talking about, or they could cover that tight end man to man, or with this zone coverage, having spatial awareness of what's going on around you. So that's what I feel as if separates the greats from the good.
Yeah. And then what are three words you use to describe yourself to a Rams fan that's never seen you play?
Physical, passionate, and I would say field general. I mean that's two words, but field general.
Love that. Is there any highlights in particular you'd like Rams fans to look at, like a game or anytime you did really good that you say, I want you guys to watch this, see what kind of player I am?
I would tell fans to go watch the Georgia game. I would tell fans to watch the LSU game. I would tell fans to watch Oklahoma. Also, I would tell them to watch. I would tell them to watch South Carolina. I would tell them to watch South
Yeah.
Carolina. Well, and
I think, yeah,
those games come to mind because those are games that not just because we were dominant in those games, but mainly because I feel as if those games you could really tell how I pride myself and how I carry myself on the field, and you can see the importance that the game is to me, how important the game is to me.
yeah. Speaking of the SEC, what is the loudest moment you've ever experienced on the field?
We're playing LSU. God rest his soul. Kyron Lacey ended up, and there's a video out. He ended up, you know how he was very passionate of the game. So he ended up basically asking for the one-on-one. And it was in overtime. Our offense, I think we ended up settling for a field goal or we didn't score at all. I can't, it's a vivid memory right now. But Kyron Lacey ended up coming out. This is in Tiger Stadium, Del Valley. He ended up going and he ran like a comeback or curl route. Ended up catching the game with a touchdown, and the stadium erupted. Like the stadium just started going crazy. It was so like you could literally feel the ground up under you shaking, and like you could feel the roars in your chest. Like
I know SEC football is different, man.
yeah, they started going crazy. They started going crazy.
Looking ahead to this next year, what is your personal I made it moment going to be? Is it going to be your first game check, Madden, fans in the stands yelling "Pooh, Pooh"? Like, what do you think it's going to be?
I feel like my first I made it moment is gonna be when I put on that uniform and I run out. I run out of the tunnel getting ready for the first opponent of the season. I feel as if that is when it's finally gonna come to me that I'm really living out my dream. I'm really living
Yeah,
out my dream, and it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but I'm finally here through the grace of God. I'm finally here, and another moment that is gonna strike me is when I get off that plane, when I get to LA, getting ready for rookie minicamp, and I walk into that facility. I'm going to be in like, man, I'm here. I'm here. I'm ready, and I'm excited. So I
yeah.
just can't wait to get to it.
And then is there any like goals you've had for this upcoming season as well? Is it like 100 tackles or anything particular you've thought about?
No doubt. So one goal, like I said, I want to get around those guys and learn how I can be engaged off the field, but as well as how they take care of themselves to perform on the field. Another thing is I want to be an impact, whether that's defense, special teams, no matter. I want to go out here. I want to show these guys that I can keep up with them, but also I want to show these guys that the game means just as much to me as it does to them. It's very important to me as it is to them. So, just showing those guys that, man, I want to be the energy source. I want to be the leader. I want to go out here, man. I want to lead these guys each and every day so we can get better each and every day. Because like I said, man, we got unfinished business. We got to go take care of some things, man. And I feel like we can. I feel like once we come together, once we all put our minds together, man, we're gonna be good. Like I said, I'm already walking into a great group of guys. These guys already take the game very seriously. You can tell that each and every player on that team has the right head on their shoulders by the way that they carry themselves on and off the field. So me walking into this facility, man, I'm gonna be in addition to that. I'm gonna be somebody who already carries himself, who already works hard each and every day, and I'm just adding to that, man. So they're just adding more fire to the flame, more flame to the fire, man, and really just man, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting.
And then you probably haven't had much free time lately, but off the field, what are some of the hobbies? Like, what do you get up to off the field?
Man, so man, I grew up in a small town in South Georgia. I grew up in Cordell, Georgia. So I like to fish. I really just enjoy outdoors in general. It doesn't matter. I like riding like four wheelers and dirt bikes sometimes. Other times I'm probably playing video games with my friends. So I like to play Call of Duty and I like to play NBA 2K. I play a little bit of Madden or NCAA, but I play it with my friends on like ultimate teams. Um, yeah, that's mainly about it. That's mainly about
Are you looking forward to seeing yourself in the game?
I am, and it was crazy to see myself in NCAA. So,
Yeah,
but I already know those same emotions they probably gonna hit even harder that I will be in Madden. So,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And rookies historically are kind of in the like 60 to 70 range, but sometimes they'll have a 90 overall stat. What would you say is your 90 overall stat?
I would say, I would definitely say, I would definitely say my awareness. I would definitely say my speed and tackling. Uh, what's another one? I would say I would. Yeah, those are probably like the main four that come to mind right now. I was trying to think of all the stats that they have, like how they do the stats on the game, but those are the main four that come to mind.
They're really stingy, so you're probably only going to get like one or two of those.
Oh yeah, obviously no doubt. But if it had to be, if I had to be like one or two, like I would definitely want it to be out of that four that I just said.
Yeah. And then 10 years from now, what do you want the name Pooh to stand for in the NFL?
I wanted to stand for somebody, like I said, I wanted to stand for somebody who off the field, who, you know, basically I want to be a role model to the community. I want to be the outlet to the community. I want to give back. But I want them to have the view of me that off the field he was a great dude. You know, he was a God fearing man who tried his best to live and do right each and every day, which he did. You know, he was somebody that it don't matter. I want my teammates to be able to say, man, it was don't matter what time it was or what was going on. I could always call on that man for help, and he would come through each and every time. And on the field, excuse me, on the field, I want to be seen as somebody who played with relentless efforts, somebody who went 100% each and every play, each and every down, and I want to be known as, he was looked at as a leader, but as well as that Joker played like his hair was on fire. Like he played with some intent behind it. He was a physical tackler. He was sideline to sideline. He communicated. He was everything that you would look for in a linebacker. So
Sounds great. And then coming to LA pretty soon. What's something you're looking forward to doing off the field? Disneyland, food, the beach, like what's on the bucket list?
So I never really like spent time. I've been to LA, but I was just like either passing through or I never really got to go out and like experience it. I really just ready to see the scenery. I know the scenery looks very nice to me. So I like I said, I like outdoors, but I also like looking at like nice sceneries. Like when I go to big cities, like looking at the buildings or looking at different artwork that's going on around it or whatnot, and just really feel the culture of the city. So I'm excited to really see the culture and what it stands for. I'm excited to get out there and meet the people, see the people that I'm surrounded by. Get ready. I'm ready to get around my teammates, and they might have some things that I might like. And just that way I can go out and find something that I enjoy, but also build a bond with them too. So I get a
Yeah,
two-point deal with that. So, and I'm just
definitely.
really just excited to get there.
From what you've seen on the uniforms, I'm a big uniform guy. What is your favorite like uniform set?
I would say the blue, like the all blue with the matching helmet. That's dope. I like that. That got to be that one. And it was another one. Me and my brother, we was talking about this the other day. We was going through the uniforms and stuff. But
Mm,
that's like the main one. I like that one.
yeah, the home just classic blue.
Yeah, yeah. The
Can't
home
beat
the
it.
home uniform. I like that one.
And then I'm not sure if you're familiar, but Nike's introducing new uniforms for you guys this season. It's going to be like a NBA, like how NBA and the MLB does City Connect. They're going to be doing rivalry jerseys for you guys to wear against like the 49ers or the Cardinals. And
Mhm.
it's going to be city inspired. What would you hope that those uniforms look like?
Man, I really want to leave that up to the fans, but also I would say I wouldn't mind if it was black, like all black.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind
that
that.
works.
I would not like black with like some hints of the home blue in it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and
You
all
know,
black, and then the numbers and like accents are blue.
yeah, something like that. You know, with like some like a yellow like trim or outline.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then speaking of jerseys, who's one former teammate or player in the NFL right now that you'd want to do a jersey swap with this season?
Man, so I would love to do one with Quay Walker. I grew up with him. He's a linebacker for the Packers, Green Bay Packers. And another guy would be his name is Antonio Greer. He plays linebacker for Tampa Bay. Those are the two guys that I really want to do a jersey swap with them because, you know, like Quay, like I said, I grew up with him, and this is just a surreal moment for us. You know, both of us coming from the same hometown, the same type of background. You know, I just want to be able that. I feel like that'll be a bittersweet moment between us two. Also between Antonio, you know, I had some time with him at Arkansas. He came from South Florida. He transferred from South Florida. Now playing with the Tampa Bay, man. And it was time that me and him sat down. We grew pretty close with each other over time. So that'd be a nice jersey swap as well.
Yeah. And then I always ask all of my guests these final two questions. What song would you like to add to the guest playlist? I asked everyone what's their like number one hype song, and then I added to a shared playlist.
All right, so how, just one song?
One song could be a song like you listen to before games, or just like one of your favorite songs right now. It's up to you.
I would say one of them would be "Out the Mud" by Lil Baby. It's an older song, but I
There
like
we
it.
go.
"Out the
Okay.
Mud."
And then to wrap us up today, what is something that football taught you that you think that the general public could apply to their everyday lives?
Um, the importance of leaning on each other. You know, the important like it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to basically sit back and go through hard times and need a helping hand. You know, that's something that football showed a lot about. You know, simply just how to handle adversity, how to handle different situations of adversity, and also allowing yourself to be a resource or allowing yourself to be an outlet. That's okay. You know, it's okay for people to come to you for help, and you provide. You help them in the best way that you can, even if it's not helpful towards the situation or not enough. You still were able to be that type person that okay, this person now feels comfortable. They can come to me. They can talk to me, and or I can go to them and I can talk to them. So just really how to handle adversity, but as well as the importance of being thankful for what we have. You know, it's a lot of people that will do a lot, like do anything to be in my position I am today. I was blessed enough with this opportunity, and a lot of other guys were blessed with this opportunity. But it's always about maximizing that opportunity and being thankful that you're in a position that you are today. So I would say, man, just be thankful for where you are. Don't ever just sit back and I wish I did this or I wish I had this like this person or I wish I had that like this person, because that same person could be wishing that they had something you had going on, or they wishing that the other person had something that they had going on. So man, just being where your feet are, being thankful for where you at today, and just being an outlet, being a resource, leaning on each other.